Hello, Northwest Arkansas. I'm Darren Storms with Storms Orthodontics. We are proud to sponsor the Harbor Wildcats on the 2021 football season. As a Harbor supporter and a proud parent of a Hellstrom hero, wishing you guys a great football season, wishing you a happy, healthy, and safe football season. Go Wildcats!
See, it does just mean more in the state of Arkansas. What makes 7A football so special, so much more different than, other places throughout the state? Is it any different heading into 2021? It's the On the Hill Media Day 7A West special. And welcome into today's On the Hill Media Day 7A special, as we're going to take a look at the Harbor High School Wildcats today. We'll go deep in Harbor's Wildcats program with head football coach Chris Wood. Chris, welcome to the Media Day special.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing this. I think this is great for our kids.
Harbor Wildcat football in 2021, Coach. I mean, what can fans of Harbor Wildcats and just Northwest Arkansas, what can we get to learn as we get into this season about the Wildcats in 2021?
Well, I think the biggest thing is how hard they're going to play. It's a high-energy group. They're going to compete at a very high level. Not the biggest group, size-wise. We'll be one of the smaller groups to take the field, but I always tell them, that really size doesn't matter. It's about your heart and your grit and your willingness to overcome challenges through the course of the game. So I think it's going to be a fun group. Offensively, I think we're pretty versatile. Defensively, I like the speed and we run to the ball well. So it's going to be a fun group to watch.
When you think Harbor Wildcat football, the one thing that always comes to mind, physicality. Is that something that's just a staple of this program that you'll continue each and every year?
Yeah, that's one of the things we try to hang our hat on. And it tracks all the way back to Gerald Williams. And, one of the things that always stood out about a Gerald Williams Bulldog team was no matter what, in that white fence, that when you came to Springdale High, you were inside that white fence, it was going to be a physical night. And, when we were blessed to be able to open up Harbor High School, even though we had different colors, instead of the red, we had the blue, at the DNA, the core of that, most of those dads and uncles and grandpas, they were all Bulldogs.
Right.
And so there was a standard that was established by Gerald Williams, and we just felt it was very important to maintain that, to carry that with us, because we thought that honored these players' fathers and their granddads and their uncles and, all their family. And so for us, physicality is really what we wanted to hang our hat on when we began, and that's something we kind of continue to just push daily. Just kind of like I've been sharing with them, the guys through off season and this summer training, especially when we got in fall camp, is when it gets harder, that's when we get better.
Right.
Well, we love mentally tough situations because we believe we're going to push ourselves through that, and we got to embrace that mental challenge. So I think it's something we're just going to kind of keep pushing along and try to hang our hat on it.
New offensive coordinator and Coach Benji Mahan. He comes over from having a stint at Fayetteville. Coach, talk about what went into, picking Coach Mahan, and what will Coach bring to this program offensively?
Well, when it kind of started playing itself out, Justin Pruitt, my offensive coordinator, O-line coach, took the OC job at Broken Arrow, and he headed out in February. And at that time, it was an opportunity where, in the past, we'd have an offensive coordinator, but I'd still call the plays on Friday night. I'd kind of build the practices and do all those things. And, we're just at that point from a transitional standpoint, trying to look outside the box and, breathe. I felt what we did was solid, and it was a good blueprint, but I thought we could take it to another level. I thought, our kids, that opportunity, if we go out there and hire someone that could take what we're doing and then whatever that next step is in that next level is to enhance us offensively, to make us a better offense. That's what I was looking for. And, I had some really fine men I talked to about being the OC. And then one day Benji had kind of reached out, and from there, I talked to him a couple years ago about being on staff, but everything felt right, and he has an unbelievable pedigree. And what really stood out to me is when he shared the story, it really wasn't a football, where he said he was in a local store and one of his former players came up and just talking about life. And, at that moment, football, playing the game, the X's and O's are special, but when you're creating relationships with your players, it speaks more than anything, and that really mattered to Benji. And so not only did we get a man that really cares about our guys, but also a guy that really understands the game, studies it, and his work at Fayetteville, his work he did there under numerous head coaches with that offense and that championship caliber mindset. It was a no-brainer for us to add him to our staff.
Defensive coordinator, Coach Moreland. Talk about him. I mean, he's been with you for quite some time now. I mean, talk about, that side of the ball. Will it be one of those still learning with so much inexperience that's going to be playing this season?
Yeah, with Coach Moreland, I mean, we do have a long history together. I mean, he's a coach that was with me when I went to Austin High. Under Mickey Moss back, I think, in 2000. And then when I got the Shiloh job, he came with me to Shiloh. He's been to Nashville with me, and he's now here. And he knows me. He knows the good, and he knows the not so good. Where, I wish I was real good on everything, but, I have faults and deficiencies.
Right.
And but Travis, he does a fantastic job of studying the game. I think one of the biggest things for Travis, when he came through, is when actually we had Keith Fempel, our staff, as our DC, and I think that time was really good. Keith was a really good mentor to Travis from a defensive side, taking film, how to study the film, and then applying that to the staff and getting the best out of not only his staff but his players. And so I think that was a really growth time for Coach, and he's been able to take that and learning under Coach Fempel, and just really adapts defensively to our skill set. I think I told him just to think outside the box. I mean, let's not be cookie cutters. I mean, we're not going to be the biggest guys on the field, so let's just not line up and try to just hit our heads against the wall. Let our guys run and play and have fun. And it might look unorthodox. Let's go do it.
You've been in this league quite a while, Coach. And what makes this conference, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball, so much more difficult and so much more harder to prepare for than, say, other conferences throughout the state?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things you recognize in the West is, it comes down to 4 or 5 snaps in a game. It comes down to one possession. It comes down to a decision in the kicking game. I mean, there's just a number of little things within the game. If you miss, I mean, these other staffs and these players are going to make you pay for it. And so the one thing I always take back each and every year is, I mean, you better be detail focused, because if you're not detail focused every day and you don't start doing it in January, it's going to come up and get you during a season, especially in October, November. And at that point, you're just going to put Band-Aids on it. Right. You're just going to try to get through. So I think what really stands out to me is, one, the coaching staffs, the depth of the coaching staffs, not just the head coach, but their coordinators, the positional coaches, and these men that are coaching these young men in Northwest Arkansas, they do an unbelievable job, and they're always staying ahead of the curve. They're always studying, they're learning, they're adapting, and they're usually on the cutting edge of some of how they're going to attack people offensively and defensively. And then your next phase in there is the commitment of these school districts. I mean, they understand the relevance of athletics within a school setting. I was told a long time ago, and I truly believe this, the front porch of any school is the athletic program. I mean, that's not saying academics and everything else is not important, but right. When people look at a school district or they look at a high school, how many times are they talking about how are the athletic teams? So the front porch of any district is the athletic teams. The administrators know that up here. They build the facilities. They provide the opportunities to give their student athletes the best chance to be successful. And then you have parents and kids both committed for excellence. They'll train. They'll do whatever you ask. They'll go wherever they need to go to get the training to enhance their skill set and their ability. And you have parents, they demand a certain product, and you need to provide. And so I think all those things come together, and that's what makes the 7A West so unique. So we have so many people pulling in the right direction of excellence.
Chris, this time last year, you guys didn't have a chance to go through spring ball. Mm-hmm. You were just coming in on the run. Right. Let's go play football. How big is it, to be able to go through spring football and kind of have more of a normal ease into fall camp to get ready for the 21 season? How special has that been for you guys as a staff?
Well, one, when it was taken away, you take things for granted. I mean, there's no doubt about that. When we started that downward slide last spring, where we're just going to wait 15 days and then we're going to resume spring sports, and then all of a sudden there's no spring sports, and then all of a sudden you can start doing a little bit of sports, but you got to do it in really small pods. you cherish the opportunity because you take for granted sometimes that opportunity. You get so caught up in, are we doing too much time here? Are we overcommitment? And you recognize the value in those pieces of building your brand and building your program. So when we get back into it this summer, you just take a little bit more appreciation. That opportunity to come in and work out at 7 in the morning sounds a lot better than it did last year, or when you've been doing it 20 years and you get fired up and you're going, hey, this is a blessed day the Lord's given us to work with these student athletes, and let's seize the day. And then as you get to competing 7-on-7, and not only 7-on-7, but you get to go with those young men and they get to hang out under a tent. You build relationships and you got unique bonds and special experiences from that. The team camp setting. So everything we do is just you don't take the game for granted, because what you do is when you stay in something long enough, you find the things that really get under your crawl. And the bottom line is you need to catch your breath, stand back, take a deep breath, and you're really blessed more than you recognize it. That's what really missing out on COVID's taught me. Taking into this year, how special the opportunity is.
As we sit here on the 7A Media Day special here at Harbor High School, for fans that may want to come out on a Friday night and watch a little 7A football, in particular here at Wildcat Stadium, look in that camera and give them a reason as to why the 2021 version of the Wildcats is what they want to come out and see.
Well, I think you're going to see a bunch of young men that's committed to each other. They're a family. They're going to play hard. They understand who they're playing for. They always tell them this: you got a name on the front, you got a name on the back, and you're supposed to honor both of them. So you can be guaranteed when we hit the field, our guys are going to play for Harbor, which is in Springdale city limits. So therefore, we're playing for our city to honor and respect that in everything we do. And then you're playing for the name on the back, and that's a family name, and that's a legacy name in Springdale, Arkansas. And so when you come out to Harbor and you support these young men, you know who they're fighting for. They're fighting for Springdale, Arkansas, Harbor High School, and those families with the name on their back. So that's what we're doing.
There you have it. Hey, we're going to get into a little bit more of Harbor Wildcat football. We'll take a look, talk to a few players. Hey, we're about to get it going. It's the On the Hill 7A Media Day special. We'll be back in a moment.
Lindsay & Associates started in 1973. This is our 48th year in real estate in Northwest Arkansas. We have 2 locations, one in Fayetteville and one in Rogers. And we are here to serve the people of our community. And as my dad always said, at Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
And welcome back to the On the Hill Media Day 7A special. And I'm joined now by senior offensive lineman Jack Strubing. Jack, welcome on.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Your senior year, Jack. What comes to mind when I say that to you, Mr. Strubing? I mean, the final go around.
I can't believe it's here. But you know, I've been working so hard that I haven't really had time to sit back and embrace it all. But eventually there'll be a day. But it's really creeped up on me, and I just can't believe it's already here.
What are some of the Wildcat goals offensively this year in 2021, in your opinion?
We're going to run the ball. No matter how many people are in the box, we're going to run the ball. And obviously, we're going to throw it a little bit here and there, but we're going to run the ball on them. And our main focus is just to have fun and just have a good attitude and enjoy each other. But I'm looking forward to it, and we're just going to have a good time overall.
When you talk Harbor football, maybe not the type of season that your people have grown accustomed to here in Wildcat football. What's been the motivating factor coming off last season for this senior class and this football team as a whole?
Just have a tough mindset. You know, not everything. The ball's not going to roll your way, and the refs aren't going to go your way either. So mainly just fight through adversity. Just the way we're going to handle adversity this year is going to be, top notch. We're going to fight through it.
It's real physical. We know in 7A West football. Who's that one defensive lineman that you just get up each and every week to play, or if there's a couple of them?
Yeah, for sure. I know Bentonville does a good job raising a lot of good, solid offensive linemen, and so does Fayetteville. But I'm not focused on one specific guy. I'm focused on the overall body, and so I just do what I can do daily, and I just know the rest will take care of it.
What makes 7A football, 7A West in particular, so much tougher than any other part of the state?
There's just a lot of great athletes, and there's a lot of kids that don't take crap from each other. You know, when we get out there on the field, only me and the guy across from me know the battle that we're going to, and it's just there's a lot of physical kids, and in Arkansas, and especially Northwest Arkansas, there's a lot of hardworking parents, and it obviously trickles down to the kids. There's a lot of hardworking kids out there, and so just the ability for them not to take crap and to keep on fighting, that's what makes this league tough.
You being a young man that's played quite a bit of snaps in this conference. I mean, now you're taking on that leadership role, Jack, your senior year. I mean, talk about how you embrace that role.
I know it's a lot of pressure, and I've always been putting pressure on myself. I've been trying to do a better job of taking in the pressure because I know a lot of eyes are on me, and I know it's my responsibility. Obviously, I've been playing in this league for a long time. I got to, correlate and help my offensive linemen out, younger guys coming up. But, yeah, it's a great experience. It'll help me in the long run with my mental game and what I'm thinking pre-snap and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely.
Which game sticks out heading into that final campaign on 70 West football?
I'm probably going to have to say last year, Bentonville West, and that game was fun. And Fayetteville, and then probably Bentonville. Every time my nerves just hit, I start shaking when I play them, just because, they're a good football program. And, when I play against high competition, I usually play my best, and they bring out the best in me. But those games really just set the tone for the season just for me.
Who are some of those guys at the collegiate level, Jack, or at the NFL level that play the offensive line that you like to, watch and maybe take parts of what they do?
Obviously, one guy is Quentin Nelson, guard for Notre Dame. He's a beast. And then I like cutting a lot of tape on NFL centers around the league. Not hardcore, but just watching it and understanding their game and really what they're thinking pre-snap, like what you see, understanding the box and getting out to the second level. I know there's a lot of great guys around the league. College football, I'm not much of a college football watcher. I like watching NFL.
We gotta have a little fun. I asked your brother here about his artist riding around the city, first 5 on the Jackson play this.
I'll be honest. I don't listen to much music. Literally, I come here every morning with the radio station turned down. I don't listen to much music. Country on, and then I'll hit up with some a lot of EDM music, head bobbing. So those are mainly my 2 genres I listen to.
Hello, Northwest Arkansas. I'm Darren Storms with Storms Orthodontics. Here at Storms Orthodontics, we see patients of all ages. We treat patients with traditional braces, Invisalign. We are proud to sponsor a lot of local sports teams: football, baseball, basketball, dance, soccer. Wish you guys a great year, happy, healthy season. And we have locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Siloam Springs, and we'd love to take care of your kids. Thank you very much.
And welcome back to the On the Hill Media Day 7A West special. And I'm here joined on the campus of the Harbor High School Wildcats to talk a little Wildcat football with senior wide receiver Peyton Mckee. Peyton, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Peyton, when I say senior year of high school football, what comes to mind when I say that?
It's crazy. You wouldn't expect it to come this fast. Man, it came fast. But I'm excited. I've been waiting for this year. Every year, sophomore year, you look forward to senior year, but it's here now. So I guess I got to do what I got to do.
2021, what will they say when people come to Harbor Stadium to watch the Wildcats? What will they say about the Harbor Wildcat offense in your opinion?
They're for sure gonna say we're tough because we're not gonna let anyone just carry us around. But I say we're gonna be real tough. That's what I'd say.
Looking at the 7A West, what makes 7A West defenses so much more tougher on Friday nights than maybe some other conferences in the 7A?
Because that person in front of you wants it just as bad as you do. And every person there, they know what's at stake. They know that they need to win that state championship. Everyone has the same goal, and we're all out there fighting for it.
When you look around the conference, what game or games, Peyton, to this date? Now, we know you got your senior year left in 2021, but what game or games that stand out to you?
I'd say our first playoff game last year against Northside. It was a good one. I had a good game, and it was a hard fought. The environment was there, even with COVID. It was a good
Speaking of COVID, I mean, how excited are you to be able to get back, come out into the stadium, and kind of see your classmates in a more normal atmosphere?
It's nice, for sure nice, because I didn't get it until sophomore year and I thought I forgot about it. But it's good being out here, practicing in the morning instead of the afternoon, being with your teammates, just everything about it's nice.
What rivalry game in the 7A West do you look forward to? I mean, what is that game that you circle on the calendar?
I got a few of those games, but definitely Bentonville, but this year Fayetteville's making that run. I circle Fayetteville for sure.
Well, Peyton, we're going to have a little fun, my man. You and me riding around Springdale.
Ooh.
First 5 artists on the playlist. Give them to me.
First one's got to be Ariana Grande. Got to put that one up there. Polo G, for sure. J. Cole. Let me think. Billie Eilish. She a good one. And then I'd say my last one. Kendrick Lamar.
Those are good ones.
Yep.
For those fans that want to come out this year and check out Harbor High School football, Wildcat version in 2021, I mean, look in that camera, Peyton, and tell them, I mean, give them a good reason to come out and watch some football.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be real exciting. It's going to be different. We have a goal, and I feel like we're all coming together as one, and it's going to be exciting.
Hey, we got much more Wildcats to talk about. It's the On the Hill 7A Media Day Special. We'll be back.
Lindsay and Associates started in 1973. This is our 48th year in real estate in Northwest Arkansas. We have 2 locations, one in Fayetteville and one in Rogers. And we are here to serve the people of our community. And as my dad always said, at Lindsay and Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
And welcome back to the On the Hill 7A Media Day Special, as I'm joined by new offensive coordinator for the Wildcats, Coach Benji Mahan. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Benji, you've been a coordinator in this league many years, formerly just recently with the Fayetteville Bulldogs, now here at Harbor. I mean, talk about this conference and what makes this conference so much more tougher against, those defenses.
Yeah, this conference is tough. Lots of really quality coaches that not only the coaches put a lot of investment in it, the school districts put a lot of investment in it, and facilities. The communities enjoy their football. They put a lot of investment in it, and the kids follow. And there's just high standard in this conference, and a lot of tradition-rich programs that try to keep that tradition going. And so that makes it difficult on some of us as coaches, but it also makes it a lot of fun. Love the opportunity.
Coming here to Harbor, what will be the offensive philosophy that people can come out and expect each and every Friday?
Yeah, Coach Wood and I started talking about this early spring, just trying to get his take on what he wanted as the head coach. And, his DNA here at Harbor for the last 15, 16 years has been, hey, we're gonna be physical, we're gonna be tough, we're gonna run the power, we're gonna run the counter. He likes to throw the deep balls, and he wants to keep that DNA, and we're gonna keep that DNA, but also add in some of the things that we've done over the last few years with my experience and add to it, and I think we can be really, really explosive by doing that.
Who are going to be some of those guys at the skill position, Benji, that fans can come to expect to be some of the go-to guys that when, hey, you got to make those plays,
right,
you're going to call their number?
Yeah, right. So we spent all spring looking at our skill guys. This summer we did 7-on-7. We even went to Hoover, Alabama, went against some of our best competition in the Southeast, trying to help our skill guys. And you got Peyton Mckee, who you interviewed earlier, just a fantastic receiver, understanding body placement, routes, catches the ball, is explosive. Drew McClendon has moved from quarterback last year to wide receiver. The guy can run, he can jump, and he's just explosive. And then Ethan Fender is a returning all-conference player last year as well. Those 3 guys are going to be really, really explosive. And then you throw in the fact of Hudson Brewer's returning, and the 1,600 yards he had at running back last year, and you add all that in there with Luke Buchanan being the trigger guy, and it's a lot of fun being the play caller with those guys.
Talk with senior offensive lineman Jack Strubing. I mean, will that be, the anchor? I mean, if you want to be big and physical, we all know in this conference, it's how you fare on the defensive lines and on Friday nights is pretty much how the season will go. I mean, talk about that offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're a little young overall, so Jack does definitely have to be the anchor in that. We got some seniors on there, but mostly juniors, 2 seniors, 3 juniors, and then our backups are juniors as well. So there's going to be some learning by those younger guys, especially those first 3 games. But by the time we get to Bentonville, week 1 of conference, they got to be ready to play because obviously Bentonville's very, very talented on defense, and their scheme is very, very good. But Jack just brings so much experience. It's going to end up being 4 years of experience.
Right.
Guy played as a freshman, so his leadership, his experience, it's just got to bleed over to those other guys, and that's what we're counting on.
I mentioned earlier in the show, you were previously offense coordinator at Fayetteville, got out a couple of years, and now back here at Harbor. In your time off, Benjamin, what did you notice about 7A football that you now can use coming back into the conference?
Yeah, it was a difficult decision getting out. My wife said I'd never get out, and I did, and I don't regret being away, but I'm very grateful to be back. And when I say I don't regret it, is because the last 2 years have really allowed me to change my perspective. I sat in the stands. I went to a game every Friday night, and I got to watch how coaches handled things on the sideline. I got to see different situations in games where pressure wasn't on me.
Right.
And I got to see that from a different angle, that when you're in the grind and you're in the middle of it, you got blinders on. You can't see all that stuff. So I'm hoping that the last 2 years will help me personally as a coach be better than even what I was.
Last question, Coach. I want to thank you for joining today's Media Day show. For fans that want to come out and watch high school football, in particular Harbor Wildcat football, I mean, look at that camera, Coach, and just tell them what would be a good reason that they want to come out on Friday night and enjoy themselves.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the kids and all the hard work that they've put in. This is a chance for them to go showcase their abilities and the work that they put in. This is their reward time, and having people in the stands to watch that is a big reward. But overall, offensively, there's I guess the tagline right now in offenses is tempo, and everybody's trying to play fast. Right. But if you really look at it, are they really? We are really going to play fast, and we're going to try to snap that ball every 7 to 8 seconds, and just give our kids a chance to get more snaps, get more plays. Hopefully it fatigues the defense, or maybe gets them in a different alignment than what they want to be. And so personally, I think that's exciting. And we want to be explosive and exciting for our fans, but the biggest part is just rewarding those kids for all their hard work.
Well, Benji, welcome back to the conference.
Thanks,
Look
Pat.
forward to your offenses here at Harbor. Hey, much more. Time to talk a little defense here at the Harbor Wildcat program. Back in a second. To the On the Hill 7A Media Day special as I'm on the campus of Springdale Harbor to talk Wildcat football, and I'm with senior defensive end Logan Essex. What's up, my man?
Not much, how about you?
I'm doing good. Logan, senior year. I've asked your brothers and I asked you, when that is brought up and you think about that, what comes to mind with this being the last go around in 7A West?
It's scary, It's scary just from the fact that, it could all end after this, and, you don't want it to end. You just put in so much work and everything. Whenever it finally comes to your senior year and it's here, it's just like, it's crazy.
Last year, maybe not the season that, you're accustomed to as most of your teammates here at Harbor. I mean, how much of last season has been the motivating factor here in the whole season and here in the fall camp for the 2021 campaign?
It's definitely been a lot, because we only got so much of a season last year, and this year, especially being a senior, you don't want to waste it, so it's been a very big motivating factor.
What makes offense so much more tougher to defend on Friday nights than maybe say some of the other conferences or schools around the state?
I'd say, well, in the 7A West, there's a lot of athletes, very good athletes, big guys, good offenses, good coordinators. So with all that combined, it makes it tough. you know.
What's the one team or teams that you circle? You know, that your own
circle?
personal motivating games that you just can't wait to play.
I'd say definitely Rogers and Fayetteville, and of course Bentonville every year. You know.
Now, you know, Harbor. I mean, you guys playing with a chip on your shoulder this year?
For sure.
Bryson, who were some of the offensive linemen or tight ends maybe that, you know, stick out that you can say, hey, I really like to play these guys?
Like is it in the 7A West?
Yes.
I don't really know a lot of them, but I know those dudes from Bentonville are tough. You know, that's good. That's good competition there. Oh yeah, that's good competition there. You know.
What's the one play or plays or game to this point, B, that stick out to you?
Southside last year was a fun game. That was a very, very physical game. You know, and yeah, so that'd probably be the one game that I'd say stuck out.
Pick the one word that most people, when you say Springdale Harbor defense, what's that one word that'll be the first word everyone's gonna say?
Tough. You know.
Now we'll have a little fun. I've asked all your brothers here on today's show. We're riding around Springdale. First 5 artists on the playlist. Who are they?
I definitely have to go with J. Cole, Juice WRLD, then probably the Kid Leroy.
Oh, you vibing.
And let's see, Drake, and then Travis.
I like that. Well, hey, my man, good luck on the 21 season. I look forward to watching more Harbor Wildcats. We're not done yet. It's on the Hill Media Day special. See you in a bit. And welcome back to the On the Hill Media Day 7A special. We're on the campus of Harbor High School talking Harbor Wildcat football. And I'm joined now by defensive coordinator, Coach Moreland. Coach Moreland. Coach, when you talk about Harbor Wildcat defense this year, I mean, what will be what everyone says when we talk defense?
Well, I hope what everyone says is that we're tough and physical. We're trying to pride ourselves in this
What makes offenses, Coach, so much more difficult offense and making sense of other schools across the state?
Well, the game has changed so much where, you know, when I played or even played, game that was 53 yards wide, 120 yards long.
Right.
And so having to defend the whole field has become a huge mismatch defensively, not because of scheme, just because of putting athletes in space. So you have to think from a different perspective of the old school 280-pound linebacker just plugs a hole. It's not that way anymore. You're going to have to find the guys that can run, the guys that can play sideline to sideline. That's where the game has changed the most because it puts you in so many offenses, and there's so many good offenses and just coaches in general that put you in that situation that you really have to be able to play sideline to sideline.
Going into the season, I know, you guys will be fairly young on that side of the ball, but talk about some of the guys. I know we spoke to a couple of them here on the show today, but who are going to be some of those other guys on that side of the ball that you're going to really count on for leadership?
Well, number one is Warren Hall. Warren Hall is a returning linebacker for us. He's kind of our alpha. He's our guy on defense. He's somebody that brings great energy, great enthusiasm. He is physical. He is tough. He's relentless. So that's one guy that really I need to try to build everything around that really brings everybody together. I think another one in the secondary is Malachi Kramer. He's a returning starter as well. He played corner last year. This year I've moved him to safety, and his confidence has grown immensely as we've been playing. He's done really well. And then also I think Latimer Wilmuth. He's just going to be a junior, but he started last year as a sophomore, so he's a returner for us up front. So I really have 3 guys at each level that is a returning guy that's been out there in the fire, and I think it's going to give us great leadership and be able to really rally the guys.
Last question, Coach. I know with COVID, not having crowds as we normally see on Friday nights. I mean, how big is that from a defensive coordinator spot? You know, I know we talk about players, but coaches, they like the atmosphere too. I mean, how much more excited are you to be able to come out in the coming weeks and really look out to a normal crowd here at Harbor High School?
Well, I think it's extremely important. I mean, there's nothing better than Friday night football. I mean, let's just be honest.
Right.
All right. The Friday night lights and high school kids and the community support that no matter where you go is phenomenal. All right. But being able to see a full packed crowd at our stadium here is something that these kids are really striving for. It's us as coaches are striving for. You know, I love the band. I'm not gonna lie, I had kids in the band, all right? And to be able to hear the drum line and the cheerleaders and a true student section, and just parents in general, I think it's really gonna get the juices flowing. I think this year will be different. I mean, this is year 24, 25. I'll probably be a little nervous the first couple games, and I'm not usually that way.
Right.
But knowing that everybody's gonna be back, I think it's great. And just Friday nights, man, there's nothing better.
How much of last year, with the way the season ended, you know, have you guys in this program used as motivation for 2021?
Every day. Every day. The reason being is that it didn't go the way that we wanted. The ball didn't bounce our ways. We were in most every game. The score might not have indicated, but we were right there with Brian after the first quarter. I mean, really playing extremely well with them. We had struggles defensively of stopping them, but offensively we were able to move the ball, which was like the most that they had given up. But it's just been a driving force. I mean, we have got to get back to what Harbor was built on, and that's toughness and physicality, and it's driven us every day.
Last message for those that might get a chance, if they're around Northwest Arkansas, to come out and watch Harbor High School, the 2021 version of the Wildcats. Look in that camera, Coach, and just give them a good reason as to why they should buy a ticket.
Well, number one, again, it's Friday night football. I mean, why would you not want to watch high school football? Secondly, here at Harbor, we play a very tough schedule. Non-conference as well as conference. I mean, we don't play anybody that's not a challenge on a Friday night. And so if you want to see a great football game, come out to Harbor Stadium when we're at home, you're going to see a great game because there's going to be two quality teams going at it. And it's 7A football. I mean, it's the highest classification that we have in Arkansas. There is no easy game. It is a constant grind, and man, it's football.
There you have it, Harbor Wildcat style. Hey, really looking forward to the Harbor Wildcat season this year, and want to thank the Wildcats for letting us just step into their program. We'll be back with much, much more. It's the On the Hill 7A Media Day Special. See you in a bit.